WWL Louisiana News at 5 begins with breaking news.
Here our officer was trying to give aid to someone, to try to help them and save them, and it turned on a dime.
This morning, a New Orleans police officer responded to a suspected overdose and revived the victim, only to be dragged down the street as he took off in his car. Good evening and thank you for watching. I'm Devin Bartolotta. The incident started with a person flagging down the officer to help a man who may have overdosed and ended with that man dead and the officer and a bystander in the hospital. Tonight we have team coverage starting with Amelia Strahan live at the Walmart on Tchoupitoulas where this all happened. Amelia.
Devin, right now I'm just steps away from where police say that officer was pinned underneath a vehicle. Now you can see the scene has cleared out now, but there's still debris left scattered on Felicity Street from that crash. Over on this side, there's a pretty large oil stain left behind from that crash. And we spoke to a victim who described seeing the crime play out.
Boom, 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 boom. Next thing you know, yellow tape.
Yellow tape and flashing lights covered the Tchoupitoulas Walmart parking lot Friday morning. A witness who didn't want to go on camera describes watching the crime scene play out before his eyes.
And I saw the police. Next thing I know, police was on the ground.
One NOPD officer is recovering in the hospital after police say she was hit by a car in the parking lot and dragged blocks away. Superintendent Ann Kirkpatrick says the officer was leaning into a car to administer Narcan to the driver around 10:30 Friday morning. When he came to, police say the suspect took off with the officer still hanging out of the car and hit a bystander before driving down Felicity Street and crashing into two other vehicles. During the struggle, law enforcement say the officer shot at the suspect before being thrown from the vehicle. The officer landed underneath one of the cars involved.
Our officer was in a life and death situation in this situation, so she drew her gun and she fired one shot. As we know, one shot. There could be more.
The perpetrator is dead, the officer stable, and the bystander alive, but her condition is unclear. The witness says it's something he never thought he would see on his weekly Walmart run.
And I go to that Walmart all the time. I don't see nothing. I don't see nobody stealing, running out of Walmart. I ain't seen nothing right here in this area. There's people in that area right here.
Yeah, that witness said this is usually, like he said, a peaceful area, and this kind of thing is unusual for his block. This is a fluid situation, as Superintendent Ann Kirkpatrick has said several times. So, of course, we'll keep you updated as we know more. Reporting live from Felicity Street, Amelia Strahan, WWL, Louisiana.
Amelia, thank you so much for the update. The severity of that officer's injuries are unclear, but at last check, NOPD did tell us she is stable. This all started as she was helping someone who was seemingly suffering from an overdose. Alyssa Curtis joins us now in the studio. Alyssa, what can you tell us about NOPD's training with Narcan?
The New Orleans Police and Justice Foundation has really led the way in training and awareness officers have with Narcan because they say the severity of opioid use in our city. They tell me there's more than 500 overdoses every year. So they really want officers to be prepared, but with that comes some dangers. They tell me every situation with administering Narcan is different, and although they train for it, you never really know what's going to happen until you're in it. Narcan can dramatically and quickly change the dynamic of a situation. We know in today's incident, when that person seemingly awoke from their alleged high, they started acting erratically and drove off with the officer still partially in the car. NOPJF tells me Narcan can jolt someone out of the state they were in as it quickly depletes the high.
Someone may have been desperate to be high, and now you have taken that high away from them. So they could very well be angry, they could be irritable, they could be confused. Any number of reactions might come out of that sudden reverse.
Again, they say every situation is different and every person can respond differently to Narcan. NOPJF says they're always working to continue the education officers receive with Narcan.
All right, Alyssa, thank you so much. The injured officer is on administrative leave. We'll have continuing coverage as this internal investigation plays out. Look for updates on our website, our smartphone app, and our social media.